Good morning, everyone. First thing I want to do is wish my dad a happy 83rd birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. Love you. Obviously, a big week. These games are always fun. It's fun to be part of a rivalry. It's fun to be part of something that's not just our sport. The Cy-Hawk series has created a lot of interest for a lot of people, and for the sport of women's basketball in our state. We have 4 great Division I programs, and when we play each other, it gives a lot of attention to the sport. It's covered more by the media, so that's always a good thing too. And we know we're facing a really good team Wednesday night, and we're looking forward to seeing what we can do.
I guess maybe talk to me a little bit about Allie. And I know she's been kind of dominant, especially against you guys the past 3 years. Maybe talk to me about how you guys are going to try and stop her.
Allie's been dominant against a lot of people, and not just us. She's a great player. She's someone that I think, like a lot of the kids at Iowa, she came in as a good player. She's turned into a great player. It's a credit to her. It's a credit to the coaching staff. She grew up in Iowa City. She's been a Hawkeye her whole life, and she plays that way. She plays with a lot of emotion. She's a hard cover. She can drive it. She can shoot free throws. She's shooting the 3 better maybe than she's ever shot it in her life. So her and Megan Gustafson in the post are you look at their numbers, and there's not many people shooting 65 to 70% from the field. I mean, I don't know if we could do that with no one guarding us. And so you got to start with those two, but especially Allie's ability to create offense for herself and her teammates is really good. And they use her in a lot of really different ways, and she's going to take a lot of effort. You can't cover her with one player. You got to have some other people helping, and hopefully we can be smart about how we do it. And you can't stop kids like that. You just got to hope that you make it hard on them. Make them a volume shooter, make them hit tough shots, and hopefully do the smart things.
Meredith's off to a good start to the season. What's kind of been the difference for her so far?
I think with Mare, Tommy, it's it sounds simple, but she's a sophomore, not a freshman. When you're a freshman and you're a true post player playing in this league at the level that we're playing, that might be the hardest thing there is to do. I mean, you saw what she had to compete with on Saturday, and every Big 12 team that's going to turn around and it's going to be the same thing on Wednesday. It's Megan Gustafson, it's Hannah Stewart, it's Chase Coley. There's a lot of bodies that she has to compete with. But the thing about Mare is she loves basketball. She loves Iowa State. She's a hard worker. She never makes an excuse, ever, for anything that happens. And she wants to get better. It's important to her to get better. And she's someone that is a great asset to our team. She's a great teammate, but she's just going to get better and better. She's a finesse kid, and we're trying to find more creative ways for her to be offensive-minded. She's got a defensive rebound better, and I think she would tell you that, but it's a work in progress, but the progress is good, and I'm very proud of how she's doing it.
In these games without Heather, has it just been a thing where she's had to do that too? If you guys are going to be successful, that she just has to kind of do some of that scoring and some of that rebounding?
Yeah, and that's something that we talked to her about. Sometimes you just you look around and you have to do it, and there's certain things that whether it's rebounding, whether it's scoring, making a free throw, not turning the ball over. It doesn't have to be anything crazy, but you have to do it at a high level. And you have to understand the position you are on your team, and when you have a lack of depth and you have injuries or illness and it prevents other players from playing, then the bad news is there aren't people there. The good news is you're going to play more, and when you have that opportunity, and we all want opportunity, and Mare's opportunity for increased minutes is there, and to her credit, she's taken advantage of it for the most part.
When it comes to Iowa, it seems like you guys have very close games. I mean, last year only 3-point difference between. I guess when it comes to this, what did you guys learn from the Mississippi State game that maybe you guys can incorporate into the Iowa game when it comes to close games like that?
Well, I think like most coaches, we work on special situations every day, and I think when you play really good teams and you think or you hope you're going to be in a close game, then it's all the stuff that you stress as a coach. You don't know what play is going to matter, and it might seem like a little play. And we all focus on the plays at the end of the game, but do the things you can control. Get a defensive rebound, don't turn the ball over, your attention to detail defensively, your attention to detail, do what you do, what do your teammates do well, those kinds of things. So there's no secret to it. It's just, do you accept the challenge of playing against really good teams? Some people are very satisfied with being average. And one of the things we stress with our players every day is it's easy to be average. And we don't want anything about anything in our program to be average. So you need to stick your nose in there and compete against the best. We tried that Saturday. I thought we competed as hard as we could. Certainly a couple plays short, but it'll be the same thing tomorrow. You're going to play a really good team. Their losses are number 1 Notre Dame and a top 10 UCLA team and a very good South Dakota State team. So, and what they did to you and I got a lot of people's attention. Certainly got mine. And for us, it's our first true road game. So that's a little bit different too. So I don't think we've won over there since 2006. Some of our kids were in 3rd grade or 4th grade the last time we won in Iowa City. So hopefully we'll play a little better.
What is so difficult about Iowa City and playing in Iowa City with Hawkeye Arena?
They're good always. It starts with that, and I think in these kind of rivalries, there's such a great sense of pride in protecting your home court. Basketball, any college sport, everything's about home games. You want to be great at home, and I think when it's a rivalry game, that's multiplied, and it's kind of been that this series has kind of gone that way for quite a while. I mean, we win at home, they win there. And I think it's a byproduct of both teams are usually pretty good, and both teams have an understanding of, hey, we're playing at home, and we're not going to let our rival come in and beat us at home. And I think that has a lot to do with it.
Finally, I know it's kind of a repetitive question, but
Okay.
anything on Heather?
She jogged and worked out a little bit yesterday. If the game was last night, she would not have played. But she's getting better. I haven't seen her today, but I think the chances of her playing are, I'd say 50-50. But she's making progress. At least she was in an Iowa State practice jersey rather than a sweatsuit. So we're moving in the right direction. So hopefully she'll get to play on Wednesday.
You coached against Lisa for a long time. Is there any surprise with them, or do you kind of know what you're going to get with an Iowa team?
No, I think that number one, they're always going to be very skilled. Number two, they're always going to play. They're not going to beat themselves. And I would say number three, the thing with Iowa, that they do change from time to time. Their defense this year is a little different. They're playing a 1-3-1 zone. They're playing a triangle and two, which, and again, that's good coaching. You adapt it to your players. And the other thing is they're subbing like crazy. They're running 5 in, 5 out. So they've come up with a way to do some things different. So the foundation of their program is the same as the kind of players that they have, but they are playing different this year. So, it's not like you can just go back and look at last year's video and change the numbers and faces and prepare the same. You can't. So that's good coaching. It's good use of your personnel, and that's the way they've always played us.
Bill, what was your takeaway watching that Iowa Notre Dame game, and then how do you break down an Iowa defense that really has made it tough for shooters?
Yeah, no, they played Notre Dame really well. Obviously, when you're playing the number one team in the country and it's a close game in the fourth quarter, it shows, number one, how good Iowa can be and what they have the ability to do. And I think for us, we don't see a ton of changing defenses in our league. We haven't seen a ton this year up to this point, but you're going to see a lot of, and the defenses, you could go from a pressure man to a 1-3-1 zone to a triangle and two in about 6 minutes. So I think you have to understand what you're going to see, be ready to do it, not panic when you see it. They've done a good job of guarding the three-point line. Obviously, we've got trouble rebounding the ball. But when you go on the road, it always comes back to the same stuff. Take care of the ball, all the stuff that you guys just get bored to tears to hear about. Limit your turnovers, keep the game close. Historically, we've had some fans go over, so we'll have a few Cyclone fans in the building, which is always good. So hopefully, you just want to walk out of there, win or lose, and it's like I don't know. I've slept since Saturday's game. I'm so I'm disappointed that we didn't win that, but I could not be more proud of how hard we played, and that's what I tell our kids. If we can walk out of Carver Hawkeye Arena and have our heads up and proudly walk out of there with our Cyclone gear on and get on the bus. And the good news is we get to come back to Ames. We'll be good. And if you don't do that, then you should be disappointed. And anyone who doesn't play hard and doesn't play with a great sense of emotion and energy in this game, you don't deserve to wear an Iowa State uniform. And I'm sure the Iowa players and coaches probably feel the same about their program.
Any more questions?
Thank you.